Hey everybody, welcome back to the VC here, coming at you with another video once again. Oh yeah, back at it. Anything and everything. And so, three things we're going to talk about today. Wildfires in LA area has taken a back seat. Pretty interesting. It's taking a back seat now because bigger things have been happening. Well, it's not bigger things have been happening, but things have been happening that I guess is just there's others that have taken more of the headline. And so let's take a look at it here. Wanted to check back in on the wildfires. It's been a couple days since I really haven't been paying attention to it anymore. So I just wanted to tap in and see what's going on. And then we'll talk about DEI and, of course, what do you call that? Mass deportations. So let's see here. It says there's a map here, so I'm curious about this map. Updates for 3 wildfires in the LA County after the rain. Let's see if they have this map up. No, there it is. Yeah, there's three big ones going on right there. Let's see, so these are the updates. The Palisades, the original big one, now at 94%. Eaton Fire, that was the other big one, 98%. And then the Hughes Fire is now at 95%, which sprouted up in the northern counties here. And then there's another one in the San Diego area, I guess by the border. So it looks like they're about pretty much containing all these areas now. Hughes Fire was the most recent one up here. And I think what helps with that one getting it out quickly, it's only been a week, is that there's a lake nearby there, so they could just drop, boom, pick it up, scoop, drop. And they're able to contain this thing pretty quickly. So those are the three LA area fires. And I've been to this Castaic area here. So yes, for sure. That could be contained pretty quickly. Let's see here. LA fire update, debate over cleanup and fire zone as Edison faces new scrutiny. Alright, so what's that about? Maybe I won't be able to. I don't know why this stuff always pops up. Because I allow ads and all that, and then it just says that it doesn't. See, LA fire updates, debate over cleanup and fire zone. Edison faces new scrutiny. Edison is the power company in Southern California. PG&E is almost like a monopoly, but they wanted to break it up so it doesn't totally run all over California. So Edison was like a piece of like PG&E, and so I think it's partly their fault too. Besides Gavin Newsom's irresponsibility of land management, it's partly on the power companies too, because they have the ability to route power lines and all that underground for safety, right? Because the old style power lines is those poles, and you run the lines and you see it, it's visible, almost kind of an eyesore too, but that's just the old way of doing it. And um, over the years, especially as newer developments of housing and all that have come about, you don't see those things anymore, right? It's just routed underground and all that. And so it's a matter of these guys, whether it's PG&E or Edison, to just go around and route existing power lines underground. And so if they don't maintain to do that, they're waiting for things to happen like this wildfire that happened. And that's on them. Edison denied causing destructive 2017 fire. Feds now believe utility suppressed evidence. Hey, you know what? They're all corrupt, anyways. I don't doubt it at all. All right, because all they care about is money. That's why the rates are so high in California, is because all they care about is money and do very as little as possible when it comes to land management and just in general, right? They're making no efforts to upgrade the grid, but yet we're supposed to have everything electric by in the next 10 years, right? And that takes time, right? As slow as everything is, the permitting process, all this bullshit bureaucracy you got to go through in California, it takes time to build that shit, and there's like zero movement towards that, building everything electric. So we all know that the whole new green scam is a big ass scam, right? That's all it is, just a money grabbing scam by politicians to pocket money, and they're taking it out on us, right? Because instead of giving us a choice, right, they're forcing us, and it's bullshit. So that's that. I'm curious about the San Diego one. Let's see, wildfires prompt. No, I'm just curious to see how the L.A. Well, that's the L.A. area. Um, Let me just close these off. So this is called the Border 2 fire. It's only 10% contained on the Border 2 fire. Over in San Diego County. Let's see here. 74% contained. Okay, now it's 74% contained. That must have been an old clip I saw there. That was 4 days ago. That's why. So 4 days ago on that one. So right now it's currently at 74% contained over in the San Diego border area there. See if there's a map of it. It's kind of curious. %40 contained. That was 2 days ago. Okay, so yeah, it's over by the border. Guys, they got these little fires going on too. Yeah, this is like San Diego County. San Diego City is over here. San Diego County, yeah, that's off to the side over here. Because if anything, it fires out all the illegals in that area. Speaking of which, mass deportations, DEI, let's talk about it. Alright, so obviously we all know that mass deportations are in progress, and just checking in to see what's going on. I've been seeing this headline, this whole headline here with Selena Gomez breaking down, and it looks pretty annoying. It's just from the looks of it. I mean, I haven't actually seen the clip, but let me see if I can find one, because it just looks annoying. Dumb bitch, you know what I'm saying? Like, they probably are not, facing issues and anything. Oh, here we go. Let's check this out. See, Mark Wahlberg calls out Selena Gomez for crying over ICE arrest. So let's see here. I guess we'll see that. So we don't
Living with opioid addiction can be a
just
struggle.
crying.
Trapped in a cycle of opioid use,
Fucking annoying.
withdrawal, and craving.
Mark Wahlberg has called out
Yenta, man.
Selena Gomez for crying and melting down on her Instagram story. Selena was seen crying in a very emotional video on her Instagram story while speaking about the deportations in America. In the now deleted video, she was seen sobbing while she said, "All my people are getting attacked, the children. I don't understand. I'm so sorry. I wish I could do something, but I can't. I don't know what to do. I'll try everything, I promise." Not long after she deleted the post, she shared a second message that read, "Apparently, it's not okay to show empathy for people. To shed some light on the situation. Since coming into power, the president has set a new policy that includes the deportation of many people. Over the last weekend, the nationwide immigration crackdown resulted in the arrest of 956 people, the most since Donald returned to power, according to Immigration and Customs Enforcement. Selena's post has been widely reposted all over social media. Supporters and non-supporters have been sharing their views on Selena's video, but amongst those comments, Mark Wahlberg left a comment on an article on Instagram which shared Selena's video and discussed it. In Mark's comment about it, he said, "Maybe go and use your billions then." It seems Mark is calling Selena out for pretending to care about people. Because Selena is a...
It's just a headline grabber just to kind of create some attention. Some of these celebrities like to do that shit, and you know, she's just a stupid bitch. You know, to me she's been irrelevant, and you know, since the days of like Justin Bieber and all that, and she's just trying to just catch some headline. Nobody fucking cares, bitch.
A billionaire. This means she has a lot of power, influence, and resources to help people. And it seems Mark thinks Selena, if she really cared, could have used those things to make a difference. One fan said, "Seriously, Selena Gomez needs to get a grip. Crying on Instagram isn't going to solve anything. If she really cared, she'd be doing something concrete, like donating her money or using her platform to actually make a difference." Another fan said, "I'm so tired of these celebrities acting like they're experts on everything, especially when they have no idea what they're talking about. Selena Gomez crying on Instagram isn't going to change anything. It's just going to get her more attention, which is probably what she wants anyway." And finally, one more fan said, "Selena Gomez's Instagram video was just ridiculous. It was so over the top and dramatic. And for what? To get likes and comments? If she really cared about the issue, she'd be donating to help, not just crying on social media." For this video's comment question, is it hypocritical for Selena to be complaining whilst being a billionaire? Before you go, be sure to give this video a thumbs
up. Fuck out of here, bitch. Stupid bitch. Alright, let me see another perspective here.
Obviously, there's a way that this can be done where, you know, financial settlement, a little bit of agreement between the two countries. But if they're going to play it the hard way, Trump's going to be ringing whoever...
Alright, let's go.
The reason I mention this is that I think you said today she's got, what, 140 million people on Instagram, and she decides
422 million.
Wow, wow, wow. So this is her sphere of influence, and she's deciding to cry up a storm.
Only people are getting attacked.
I would be so annoyed. Get the fuck out of here, man.
I don't understand. I'm so sorry. I wish I could do something, but I can't. I don't know what to do.
She's not even hot or nothing. She's not even hot, man. There's so many other hot ones out there. Like the ones I point out, like, like she's better, right? Where's the other one at? I always point out. She's better, right? She's better. Selena Gomez is nothing, man. She's not even all that. That's all I gotta say, man. She's not even all that.
Ask you. Clearly, this.
I would be so annoyed. I remember one time I was on a date, and I was dating this chick. Yeah, we went on several dates, and this is when I was younger. And she had a little argument with her mom, so because she was still staying with her mom, and she's like crying to me on the phone and stuff, the same kind of thing.
This is nuts.
Like this, you know, crying on the phone, and I was just like, oh, so annoyed. I was annoyed. I was just like, man, I'm trying to just, you know, play the little, you know, sympathy card, you know, it's okay, but in my head, I was like so annoyed just to listen to her. I was like, man, I just want to hang up the phone so bad.
Secondly,
so annoying.
Isn't the sign of how disingenuous these people are is think about when the last time you cried in real life. Would you have even been aware of how to turn on your phone, let alone aim yourself at the camera? Normal people don't do that. Performers do that.
No, it's so humiliating.
Yeah.
Most people with a touch of dignity, and I've been on the air, I mean, the worst ever was during the Newtown massacre of 26 first graders while I was pregnant and already the mother of 2 other children. I mean, the dignified person.
Yeah, that Newtown massacre, I don't know, where was that, Massachusetts, I think? No, that's Sandy Hook, huh? Never mind. It was one of those, right? It involved a lot of, you know, kids, little tiny kids, you know, and a lot of them were killed. That is sad. That is super sad. Like, I'll have to admit, I almost shed a tear on that, the news of it all, just listening, and that was pretty crazy sad listening to it on the radio when I was, working and stuff. I was like, damn, that is crazy.
To hold back the tears because they know that they have something to do. If you're in front of the camera, you're there for a reason. Somebody thought your voice was important for some reason. So you owe them an obligation to share it. It's not to say you should be some emotionless troll the entire time you're on the air, but that's the normal person's instinct, is to approach any sort of public messaging with a touch of dignity. That's one of the reasons why the Lauren Sanchez naked boobs were so offensive at the inauguration. No dignity. But this woman has decided to manufacture tears to try to work herself up, as an actress might before a scene that could potentially be, say, Oscar worthy, and try her best to turn on the waterworks in front of the camera.
Also, the thing about
so annoying,
her performance that is particularly cynical is she's in a movie that is making a surge to become the best picture. Let's not bore everyone. So she's obviously trying to get herself in the news because the little subset of people who decide the Oscars, that's again an insight into the performance and just how lowbrow these people.
She's annoying. That Ariana Grande chick's annoying. These little yentas in Hollywood are so annoying.
End of things. They're
so woke and annoying.
A story today on Steve Bannon's show where he was talking about in Chicago how there are people who are currently in jails that are being kept in jail because once their jail term finishes, due to be deported. Why? Because they're illegals, right? There's like 300 of them in one particular jail, but the local officials won't let them out of jail because they don't want them to be deported from the country, and that would end up being a Trump win.
I'll come back to this in a moment. Let me see this. The mocking of it.
Pop star Selena Gomez is the laughingstock of America today after she posted a video breaking down over Trump's policy to deport illegal immigrants back to their home country. But Gomez was humiliated when the video didn't seem to get the response she expected, with the backlash forcing her to swiftly take.
Yeah, if you take down your video, that means you don't stand by it. That means it was just fake. Fucking bitch.
It down. Online commentators went one step further, ridiculing the video by making parody versions featuring a dancing Trump that quickly went viral. Another version featured the song Ice Ice Baby, also went viral.
Alright, stop, collaborate and listen. I sit back with my brand new invention. Something grabs a hold of me tightly, flow like a harpoon daily and nightly. Will it ever stop? Yo, I don't know. Turn off the lights and I'll glow. To the extreme, I rock a mic like a vandal. Light up a stage and wax a chump like a candle. Dance, caress a speaker that booms. I'm killing your brain like a poison.
Comedian Tyler Fisher also made a mockery of the video with this hilarious take.
Guys, I'm sorry, but all my people are getting attacked. All of the innocent rapists and murderers and criminals and drug dealers are getting rounded up and just kicked out of this country like they're objects. I'm sorry.
But laughter quickly turned to anger for many commentators who blasted Selena Gomez for her tears whilst enjoying a luxurious Hollywood lifestyle. This commentator said, Selena Gomez's incredible property portfolio. After weeping like a baby at Trump's deportations, many have suggested the billionaire pop star open up her property portfolio to illegal aliens. From Beverly Hills to Fort Worth, there is quite a selection to choose from. Commentators also put Gomez's video side by side with a montage of women murdered by illegals and slamming her for her lack of sympathy for the victims of those horrendous crimes.
Shit, that's a lot.
The pop star was also slammed for dramatizing the situation by calling Mexicans her people, despite being born in Texas. Commentator Charlie Kirk agreed, saying, "My people, aren't you American?" Where was the sobbing over the 100,000 Americans dead from fentanyl poisoning? Where were the tears over the 340,000 children who went missing after being trafficked over our border? Why wasn't there a breakdown for Rachel Nungaray, Rachel Morin, or Laken Riley?
She was probably a Kamala
those
voter
Americans
too.
weren't your people. Selena Gomez's video also made it to the mainstream media, with host Piers Morgan slamming her for her performance, calling her narcissistic.
You should know that she almost immediately deleted it because the instant reaction from Americans was to absolutely ridicule this absurdly narcissistic response from somebody trying to make this all about her weeping for people, in some cases I've seen, rapists and murderers. What is she crying about?
Border czar Tom Homan also had no sympathy for the pop star, making no apologies for the Trump administration's border policy.
I don't think we arrested any families. We've arrested public safety threats and national security threats, bottom line. And look, President Trump won the election on this one issue, securing our border and saving lives. What happened on our southern border last 4 years is the biggest national security threat this country's seen, at least in my lifetime, because we got over 2 million known gotaways. We got a 600% increase in sex trafficking. We got a record number of terrorists crossing the border on the terrorist watch list. We have 250,000 Americans die from fentanyl coming across the open border. We're going to do this job, and we're going to enforce the laws of this country. If they don't like it, then go to Congress and change the law. We're going to do this operation law policy. We're going to make our community safer. We're going to save. Once we lock that border on continuous operation, you're going to see fentanyl deaths decrease, illegal alien crime decrease, sex trafficking decrease. It's just all for the good of this nation, and we're going to keep going. No apologies. We're moving forward.
Yeah, and if you don't like it, go to Canada. Go to Europe, right? And if you want to stay here, then you got to fall in line, bitch. That's all I got to say about that. All right, so this is dumb right here. Listening to what's happening in Chicago over here. Did you hear that? Let me play that for you guys again. This is in Chicago, all right? Let me pull this back a little bit.
There are people who are currently in jails that are being kept in jail because once their jail term finishes, due to be deported. Why? Because they're illegals, right? There's like 300 of them in one particular jail, but the local officials won't let them out of jail because they don't want them to be deported from the country, and that would end up being a Trump win. All
right, let's think about that. So now we're talking about deportations, all right? They're already in jail. It's easy just to say, all right, let's just get these guys out of here because they're illegal anyways. But yet, Chicago is trying to protect them for what? You know what I'm saying? And they're trying to protect them in twofold. The biggest one is because they don't want to cave into Trump, which they're going to have to anyways. Because if you don't, I just can't wait to start seeing politicians and officials start getting arrested for not following federal orders, and federal will always supersede state.
These people understand that the mayor of Chicago or the governor of Illinois is not going to win this fight. They are not going to win this fight. And why are they trying to protect these people?
Ideology. I mean, they're sick. This has been...
It's just a woke thing as well. That's the second issue, is you're trying to protect, this is a sanctuary city. We're protecting these migrants. Even though they're criminals, right? They committed crimes. They should be deported. But at the same time, you don't want to give in to Trump because you're trying to be woke still. All right, so they should be arrested. What's his name? Pritzker, the governor, Brandon Johnson.
The driving force behind leftist policies for years now, for years. There's a clip going all around the internet today on X of Obama saying, if you're in this country illegally and you commit a crime, you're going to be deported. And so that used to be, as recently as, 2012, leftist thinking too. Like, we used to be on the same page that if you came into this country, and yes, understanding that in most of the cases they've committed a crime by coming unlawfully. Some people come lawfully and then just overstay their visas. But the people who sneak into the country have already committed a crime. But let's just say you're here lawfully, you overstay your visa, and now you commit a crime. The point is, most of the country agreed for most of our history, those people would have to go.
Yeah, I mean, it's common sense. Even years ago when Obama was saying it, you're just a guest in the country. All right, if you're on a visa, you came in, whatever. But the point of it is, if you committed a crime and it's found out that you're illegal, you're just a guest. You got no rights. You're out of here. I don't know how that got lost over the last few years of being woke and all that.
It's been since late-term Obama into Trump, who's hefty doses of honesty about the immigrant problem were not welcome, and then into Biden, who just basically lectured everybody on how if you don't want open borders, you're a racist bigot. And they submitted to it, that we've completely abandoned sane thinking about who we want our kids growing up with, how we want our neighborhoods to be. And I guess, the media, these top Democrat politicians, they're the last vestiges of that line of thinking that we've all been dealing with for all these years. But the American populace has risen up, as Trump and his defenders have been saying. He ran on this. I mean, was there anything he ran on more than immigration? Not that I can remember. He told everybody he was going to deport them. He said he was going to have he was going to use the military, and he was going to deport all of the people who came under Joe Biden, and that he was going to close the border. So Trump may not have a mandate for every piece of his agenda. I think he does, but I can see the argument that, okay, he won, but it wasn't like the greatest landslide ever. But he definitely has a mandate on immigration, which was his number one issue, and which has majority support across all parties right now. So, yeah, they're either going to get on board or they're going to get voted out of office. It's their choice.
Yeah, so the reason we're talking to you today is because RFK Jr. Begins his...
All right, so you have that. All right. Here's another one that happened over the weekend. J.D. Vance, really articulate, right? And this is in regards to the same thing: mass deportations, illegals, and fascinating stuff right here.
Vice President J.D. Vance clashed with CBS News reporter Margaret Brennan over illegal immigration in a fiery first sit-down interview.
Well, Margaret, I don't agree that all these immigrants or all these refugees have been properly vetted. In fact, we know that there are cases of people who allegedly were properly vetted and then were literally planning terrorist attacks on our country. That happened during the campaign, if you may remember. So clearly not all of these foreign nationals have been properly vetted.
No, but there are 30,000 people in the pipeline, Afghan refugees.
But my primary concern as the vice president, Margaret, is to look after the American people. And now that we know that we have vetting problems with a lot of these refugee programs, we absolutely cannot unleash thousands of unvetted people into our country.
These people are vetted. Good. These people are vetted.
Just like the guy who...
It's funny how they're all about political correctness when it's anything against Republicans, right? They did that at the debates, her and what's that? The Muir dude, right? David Muir. Same thing, right? Political correctness. Oh, we got to correct what you say. It's like, no. They're wrong, and they don't do that to any Democrats, but any Republicans they would do that to.
Who planned a terrorist attack in Oklahoma a few months ago, he was allegedly properly vetted, and many people in the media and the Democratic Party said that he was properly vetted. Clearly he wasn't. I don't want my children to share a neighborhood with people who are not properly vetted, and because I don't want it for my kids, I'm not going to force any other American citizens' kids to do that either.
No, and that was a very particular case. It wasn't clear if he was radicalized when he got here or while he was living here.
I don't really...
It's like you're justifying it. It's not clear if he was radicalized before or after he got here. It's like, that's not the point of it, bitch. I mean, like, really? That's not the point of it. And so I cut it off right when he said the famous meme line has become a meme. Let me just pull it back a little bit here. Here we go.
Either.
No, and that was a very particular case. It wasn't clear if he was radicalized when he got here or while he was living here.
I don't really care, Margaret. I don't want that person in my country, and I think most Americans agree with me.
The internet reacted immediately to the clash with...
Yeah, it's pretty funny. That's become a meme now, right? I don't care, Margaret. I don't care. I don't care. I don't give a damn, right? But I'll add Margaret. I don't care, Margaret. I'll call everybody a dumb broad Margaret. I'll just call any dumb broad Margaret.
This
it's pretty
commentator
funny.
saying, that's not journalism, that's an irrational woman that lacks principles and the ability to reason. Make America great again. Vance 2028. This commentator agreed, saying, Why do these reporters always ally with the potentiality of crime and harm instead of just supporting Americans and having a safe country? It's so exhausting. Kudos to Vance. And it's not only the media out to get the Trump administration for its action on illegals. Widespread protests have begun in border states.
They don't even know what they're standing up for.
But an icy reporter and protests won't stop the Trump administration from keeping their election promise to stop illegal immigration. Work has already started to build walls and stop the flow into the US. Donald Trump is talking tough on this issue and will not back down.
We have a lot of great people right now, a lot of great people on this situation. This was a gross miscarriage of common sense to allow people to come in. And I believe the number is 21 million people, and a large percentage of them are criminals. All over the world. This is not just South America. This isn't, we talk Venezuela, that's a big abuser, but these are countries from Iran, the Congo, countries that you don't even think of. The Congo has emptied their prisons out into the United States. We're not thinking about the Congo, we're thinking about South America. It's much more than South America.
China,
but prisons from
India.
all over the world have been emptied out into our country by Biden, allowing it to happen. I don't even know if he knew what the hell was going on, but
US sports journalist Stephen A. Smith doubled down on this and said what many Americans are thinking.
When we're talking about immigration and we're talking about immigrants who may be criminals, you're talking about them being arrested. Let's have due process. But if it takes too damn long to address it, that pisses people off. That's one of the problems that exist in this country. You're looking at stuff and you're like, okay, you arrested him. Was he in jail? All right, you let him out. Recidivism is an issue in this country. You let somebody, you arrest them, you're letting them out the same day, stuff like that. You got law enforcement officials that are getting discouraged because they're looking at it and they're saying, wait a minute, why are we out here risking our life and taking care of this stuff when y'all are just letting people out? You got to handle business. And a lot of times we hear about the red tape and all of that stuff, and you're talking about a candidate right now who's not supposed to be the president of the United States now. He's sitting up there and he's talking about expediting the process at every turn. Let's just get stuff done. Let's just get it done. Now, I don't know if I trust that. I don't blame you for not trusting it. But we have to understand the American people are saying, you know what, enough's enough. We've tried it that way. We've been doing it that way for decades. We sick of y'all. Let's wait. Let's go through the process. Let's arrest somebody. Let's let them out. Let's put them back out on the street. Oh, let's make sure they have due process. You think somebody wants to hear about due process with somebody that's in this country illegally? I want to hear that.
Yeah.
You're in the country illegally. Hell with your process.
Yeah.
You got to.
Yeah, exactly. Like, you got no rights. You got no due process. You get the fuck out is what it is.
Audacity to admit a crime after you got here illegally? We ain't trying to hear that. Nobody's trying to hear that.
And Sky News
Exactly
contributor
right.
Kosha Gada agrees, saying the Trump effect is well and truly here, with the president effectively closing the Mexican border.
Joining me now for more is Sky News contributor Kosha Gada. Kosha, it took Trump just one phone call to do what the Biden administration has failed to do for the last 4 years, and that's get Mexico to take some real meaningful action to help stop the illegal immigration crisis. Donald Trump spoke with Mexico President Claudia Sheinbaum Pardo, and he promptly put out this release saying she has agreed to stop migration through Mexico and into the United States, effectively closing our southern border. Surely it can't be that simple.
This is the Trump effect on full display. Now, the president of Mexico is new. She just won election in June. She just came into office in October. So she is not that familiar yet firsthand with Trump, but I think she's going to learn. And this phone call was her initiation. Look, I think the chessboard still has many moves to go. But Trump does have a blueprint, because he did this before with a couple presidents ago when he negotiated the Safe in Mexico deal, where people coming from other parts of the world into Mexico can get safe harbor there and can't come over into the U.S., as well as tariffs and all these things. He's tried them. He's seen what's worked. He's going to push it, hopefully, even harder this time. And clearly the previous administration didn't want to do anything. Otherwise, they would have.
Well, no, and they dismantled what he was doing, like the Stay in Mexico policy. That was very, very effective. Now,
as well as closing the borders, the Trump administration moved swiftly to end birthright citizenships.
Right.
That's another
Here's
subject
the
I'll talk
truth.
about
The 14th Amendment
video.
was never intended to serve as a blank check for illegal immigration. It was never intended to grant citizenship to the children of people who broke our laws to get in this in the first place.
Sky News host Rita Panahi applauded Trump's action, saying the president has learned a lot from last time.
Welcome back to Outsiders with your hosts, Rowan Golden Age Dean, James.
Yeah, I agree with that too, but that's another video I wanted to cover on birthright citizenship. And man, we'll cover that in another video. What I wanted to do real quick is, let's see if it's even in here. If not, we'll talk about it in another video then. We'll do that. But, yeah, we'll just leave it as that. Look at that. Brandon Johnson called to testify before Congress on Chicago's sanctuary city policies. Alright, so yeah, so you got Chicago. It's like, come on, really? But yeah, so that's the stuff that's going on. We'll talk about, ooh, what is this? Hong Kong Hart Avenue, Shim Sha Soi. I went out there several times before. Yeah, but that Selena Gomez thing ended up, she's stupid. I mean, it's just what it is, straight up stupid. But yeah, that's everything we'll talk about today. I just wanted to put a minor note that the DEI, whole thing with, I guess, banning transgenders in the military, that's different from like gay people, right? Gay and all that. There's nothing with that. It's just transgender in the military, and anything that has to do with procedures and things like that for transgender, it's something that came about with that, and I think it makes sense. I mean, again, another common sense deal here. We'll talk about that in another video. I just wanted to just cover this bullshit here that seems to really. No one really gives a damn, which is funny as hell. And then she ended up taking down the video, so that really shows that she's trash. Alright, wildfire update. Deportations continue, gotta love it. And I don't care, Margaret. Alright? I don't care. That was a big headline stealer as well. So yeah, that's everything you need to know. Look at this. Los Angeles Fire Department DEI woke hiring advertisement parody. So they even made a parody of that too. Yeah, because DEI is just a money spending waste, right? And so we're getting on top of that now. I like it. Comment down below, subscribe, hit the bell icon, let me know what you think. Oh yeah, you know what? Look at this. This bitch right here too, where she interviewed JD Vance. And I forgot her name, but she was trying to justify the illegals in taking over apartment complexes in Denver, and it was just funny. It wasn't Margaret Brennan. It was Martha Raddatz. Yeah, that one. That's her name. And it was so funny when she was trying to justify that, and he was like, do you even hear yourself what you're saying? What the heck? That was kind of weird. Let's see here. I'm going to try this out real quick. This is it right here.
I'm going to stop you. The incidents were limited to a handful of apartment complexes, and the mayor said our dedicated police officers have acted on those concerns. A handful of problems.
Only, Martha, do you hear yourself? Only a handful of apartment complexes in America were taken over by Venezuelan gangs, and Donald Trump is the problem and not Kamala Harris's open border. Americans are so fed up with what's going on, and they have every right to be.
Yeah. See, remember that? That was just like only a handful. Get out of here, bitch. These stupid liberal Democratic reporters, how they always try to button it and try to act like they are the ones with common sense. They're the ones with the true information, and it's like, no, it's pure stupidity is what it is. But anyhow, I just wanted to leave it at that there. Comment down below, let me know what you think. Subscribe with the bell icon. I'm on Rumble too. I do a double posting, Rumble and YouTube. Thanks. I'll see you next one.